Automatically, it's wonderful. Beverly, we've been hearing a lot about those violent street gangs, often deadly on the Los Angeles streets. Tonight, the story hits close to home. Today, federal agents in Baltimore arrested a man they say is a member of an infamous West Coast gang, the Crypt. 25-year-old Armando Eugene Mines is in custody, and 2.5 pounds of cocaine, a semi-automatic rifle, and $10,000 in cash was confiscated. Mines is charged with assault and a handgun violation, plus 5 other felony firearm violations.
Apartments were destroyed by a 3-alarm blaze this morning. Glen Burnie residents want to go home, but the origin of fumes that forced them out of their homes yesterday has not yet been determined. And the mayor brings city government inside city schools. But waiting for the word to return home tops our news tonight. Last night, methylene chloride fumes forced the evacuation of a Glen Burnie neighborhood. 7 people required hospital treatment. Tonight, officials hope to tell residents the source of those fumes. Channel 2's Jamie Costello joins us live from Anne Arundel County with the latest details. Jamie?
Well, Beverly, someone said a long time ago that you can't go home again. We'll try to tell that to these 25 homeowners who have been displaced since yesterday when a chemical called methylene chloride seeped into their homes, turning into carbon monoxide, sending 7 residents to the hospital. And these residents are hoping the mystery as to how the chemical got in and where it came from will be solved. Ray Feldman from the State Department of Environment says this has been a long, tedious process.
We have environmental investigations. They do seem to be long, tedious processes. We really can't say and make snap judgments about, where this kind of material is coming from. And it does take longer than we would like, and it takes longer than I'm sure the folks would like and they live in this community.
Pinpointing the problem has been just that, a problem. Last night, residents told me of complaints about a nearby chemical company called Kinesco. Many are accusing them. Accusations that the company denies.
All initial indications are that the cause of this is probably defective plumbing or backups from the Anne Arundel County sewer pumping station down there. We've looked at the plant very carefully inside. Our client's personnel have gone over with a fine-tooth comb and can't find any leaks.
Well, with me right now is Marlene Murphy and Robin Bass. Their parents were victims of yesterday's gas leak. They are spending the evening for the second night in a row in the hospital. And ladies, just what will you be taking back from this meeting, hoping for some answers, taking back to your parents in the hospital tonight? Marlene?
I'm hoping to be able to tell my father and mother they can go back to their home, or at least everyone will know where this is coming from. They've known for years and years, and we want the public to know about it now.
Now, the Engel family was affected by yesterday's thing, and you told me last night that your family has been in correspondence trying to find out since late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. The 80s they found out exactly where it was coming from, but the 70s they traced back to that they've been caught dumping.
Now, what happens after all these answers are tonight? Do you hope that you're going to get enough satisfaction out of them?
We hope so before someone dies from it. And we almost lost three friends already from it. We're hoping everything will come out all right and they can move into their house and everything be cleared up and the government will take care of it.
Well, the meeting has just started, Beverly. We'll be listening attentively along with these residents to find out the cause and whether these folks can go back into their homes tonight. Beverly?
Okay, and we'll be following up that information tonight on Nightside. Thank you very much, Jamie Costello. Sleeping in your own bed, that's a luxury 16 families won't have tonight. A 3-alarm fire burned them out of their homes at the Green Spring Village Apartments. We have 2 reports on what happened. Vicki Cox has details about the tenants, but first Brad Bell tells us the building was a total loss.
The building was fully engulfed in flames when firemen arrived on the scene. As the fire grew, 2nd and 3rd alarms were sounded, but help was delayed as security fences blocked the way. It wasn't the only problem.
Got a water problem back up in here. We had to relay water. First companies were up here. They had a going fire, and of course the firewalls keep it between the firewalls, but it still burns out about 4 or 5 apartments.
Careful. Don't go in there.
As the fire spread across the roof, falling debris injured several firefighters. 4 were treated and released from the department infirmary, but the burning roof was the final blow to the building.
When it gets to the roof, it's just about gone. So that's when you got to bring the big lines in and just try to drown it.
Gotta get somebody with a hook. Take that out of there.
Just about everybody who lives in the building was home when the fire began, but one resident found the fire. Thanks to him, everyone got out.
I opened up my door and looked at the other door, and I felt it, and it was hot. And I looked under the bottom of it, and I seen a fire under there. So I just started knocking on everybody's door.
The fire is being blamed on a basement electrical room where residents saw sparks, then flames. Arson is not suspected. In Green Spring Village, Brad Bell, Channel 2 News.
This is Vicki Cox. Alvin Dotson couldn't believe the sight in front of his eyes.
You managed to escape with anything?
What I have on, my wedding band is in there, my watch my wife gave me for Christmas. All I grabbed was my car keys, that was it.
Others couldn't hide the pain of starting over.
So there wasn't much for these people to do except remember what they once owned. Many of them escaped with just the clothes on their backs. Everything else went up in smoke.
First thing we need to do is for you guys to get a place.
Red Cross workers stepped in with money for food, clothing, and shelter. Management also offered to put up the 40 tenants in vacant units.
Open that one up. Open up 22B.
Smoke alerted the tenants this morning, not smoke detectors, which didn't work because of the electrical fire. So many feel lucky to be alive. This teenager also salvaged some family memories.
What'd you manage to get out from there?
It's this photo album, dictionaries, some money, a couple checks that wasn't cash. And
what about everything else?
Everything's gone. It's gone.
Then the shock turned to anger as tenants confronted apartment management.
Our money's gone.
What about these people who lost everything they owned in this fire? Are you going to pay for that?
Unfortunately, they are required to get homeowners or renters insurance when they do move into the place. It is on the bottom of our application.
So they're stuck.
What can I say?
Words couldn't comfort anyone today.
From the look of it, I see my son's newborn picture hanging on the wall, but it don't look like we're going to have too much or nothing left.
In my apartment, everything is gone. Everything is gone.
In Northwest Baltimore, Vicki Cox, Channel 2 News.
Damage estimated at more than $400,000. Charges are pending tonight against the driver of a truck that collided with a fire engine in West Baltimore this morning. It happened at the intersection of Payson and Edmondson Avenue around 7:20. Fire investigators say the Holly Farms truck allegedly slid on the ice, skidded through a red light, running into the fire truck, which went into a parked car. The driver and 4 firefighters were treated for minor injuries. An investigation continues. Engine number 36 was headed to a fire in the 500 block of North Mount Street when the accident happened. A federal appeals court judge has ruled that Judge Norman Ramsey is fit to preside over the trial of former state senator Clarence Mitchell. Mitchell wanted to delay the trial until after a hearing to determine whether Judge Ramsey may have been affected by an FBI wiretapped telephone conversation between Mitchell and Judge Ramsey's wife, Tucky. The 1985 conversation concerned a Mitchell political fundraiser and was not directly related to Mitchell's trial for obstructing a grand jury investigation.
She had mentioned your name, and I told her that I thought maybe I needed to check with you because I didn't know whether that might be a conflict in terms of your husband's.
You know, we're covered by the Hatch.
I assume that.
Right, cannot get into anything political.
Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals Judge Francis Murnahan ruled that it was remote Judge Ramsey could have been affected by the tape. He also ruled Mitchell's motion to be nothing more than a fishing expedition. The first phase of testing an AIDS vaccine on human volunteers began today at Johns Hopkins and the University of Maryland Medical Schools. Volunteers, who must be between 18 and 50 years of age, will undergo blood tests to prove they don't already have AIDS. And Dr. Mary Lou Clements, director of the program at Johns Hopkins, says that the volunteers must also practice safe sex.
Complicate our observation if an individual indeed is incubating the virus. We would not be able to sort out what the effects are of the vaccine versus what the effects are of the natural infection. At this stage, we're simply answering 2 questions. Is the vaccine safe, and does it stimulate antibodies?
You may want to grab a pencil. We have some information for you. Dr. Clements says that this first phase of testing will last a year. and that even if the tests prove successful, further testing would take at least 5 to 7 years before an effective vaccine might be tested more widely. If you would like to volunteer for this research, you can call Johns Hopkins Hospital at 955-4054. That's 955-4054. Or for similar tests at the University of Maryland Medical School, all you have to do is call 328-5328. That's 328-5328. There's more ahead. Meteorologist Ken Phillips.
Go, whoever's going for linebacker, go to wherever we go.
We're in the huddle. Nobody talks but him. Everybody's quiet. And we usually go by what he said.
Vincent Bond is a senior wide receiver at Forest Park. His twin brother Victor is the quarterback. Together, they've helped the Foresters make the long walk out of the forest and back to football prominence.
We're twins and we're brothers, and a lot of people look up to us. And on the JV team, they look up to us and want to, do what we can do. So it helps bring people to the school.
Like most twins, Victor and Vincent have a special kind of relationship on the football field, even in a driving rainstorm. They have an incredible knack of knowing where each other is at all times.
I know his foot speed. I know that if I lay it out there for him, he can get up under it. And more likely, he tries to get the jump on the defender man. And if I have enough blocking to get it to him, I will. We always talk about football, always. We'll start a week ahead before the game even starts what we're going to do and how we'll try to defeat the team.
The man in charge of this talented 1-2 combination is head coach Obie Barnes.
Last year I used to get them confused. The wrong guy would get balled out for the wrong thing. But this year it's a real pleasure to work with them. They're very mature, and that helps. It helps their team. They're a good example throughout the school.
School next year for the Twins may mean Morgan State or Bowie State or even Howard. Regardless of the choice, this dynamic duo figures to pass the test. From Forest Park, Keith Mills, Channel 2 News.
Police are still searching for clues tonight in the murder of 2 Pimlico men. The bodies of 21-year-old Ronald Fullard and his twin brother Ronnie were found this morning by his father. Police say they had both been stabbed.
They're fully clothed, and apparently there was a struggle on the second floor, and both of them were killed.
Neighbors on Virginia Avenue were shocked at the news. They say nothing like this has happened so close to their home. Tonight, police say that they have no motives or suspects. Later in the day, another killing in Baltimore, this time a shooting. Police were called to the intersection of Garrison Boulevard and Palmer Avenue about 2 this afternoon. They found the body of a man lying in the street. Several shell casings were found near the body. Police were questioning several witnesses late today. Neighbors told police the man was not from the area. They did not know who he was. No arrests so far. The triple slain yesterday at the Ingleside Cafe in Catonsville remains unsolved at this hour. Baltimore County Police questioning 2 men overnight, released one and held the other on an unrelated warrant for a probation violation. 2 men wearing ski masks shot the tavern co-owner and 2 customers during an apparent robbery early yesterday morning. A bartender and a 3rd customer managed to flee moments before shots were fired. One of the suspects was armed with a shotgun. A 71-year-old woman has died after she was attacked on a city street last night. Police say the woman, Tilly Frederick, was jumped from behind while walking to a convenience store in East Baltimore. Investigators say she was hit in the head with a brick and kicked. Johns Hopkins Hospital officials say Frederick died this morning. No arrests.
In White Bowden. Did a West Baltimore teacher strike some of her first grade students? That's what police and city school officials are trying to find out tonight. 6 first graders at the George Washington Elementary School have told police that they were hit by their teacher and in some cases suffered bruises from the impact.
When I was putting my head down, my teacher smacked me with my hand, then she smacked me on my leg.
Why did she smack you?
I don't know.
What did she smack you with?
A hot stick.
What's a hot stick?
She calls a hot stick, but we call it a roller.
Parents of the children have filed child abuse charges against the teacher, but no arrests have been made pending the outcome of the police investigation. The teacher, who is spending her first year at the West Baltimore school, has taken a voluntary leave of absence until the matter is settled. School officials say they will wait to hear what the police find before making any action.
Any allegation that a child has been mishandled or abused gets our very serious consideration, because we certainly don't want these kinds of circumstances in our schools. Our first concern is always for the safety and well-being of children.
She hit me. She threw me.
48 years is a long time, and that's how long it's been since some of Baltimore's public housing units have received major renovations. But that's starting to change now, as Channel 2's Jamie Costello reports.
15 public housing developments were opened in this city in the 1940s. And since the early 80s, the federal government has been handing Baltimore checks to modernize this type of housing. While there is money to refurbish, there is not enough to build new structures.
The federal money for that new construction has dried up. In the early 80s, it was realized that throughout the nation, there were a lot of public housing built in the 40s was falling apart and needed massive redoing. And this is part of it right here.
Right here is Perkins Homes off of Eden Street. While waiting for the boards to be removed, residents have been relocated, some to other housing developments, some to subsidized apartments, and a small number selected to enter the private housing market.
There's going to be a total redo from the floor to the ceiling. They're going to tear out the tiles, and the plasterboard will be replaced. New cabinets, contemporary cabinets, new appliances. The windows will be worked on. Everything will be redone.
And when that project is completed, this is what it'll look like. This is Latrobe Homes. You'll notice that there are new trees planted, and all the bricks have been cleaned. Maggie Evans saw us outside and invited us in for a tour. She says her current home doesn't even compare to where she was before.
Where I was living, it was miserable. The floor was bad because it was cement floors, and I had a lot of roaches over there.
But after renovation, you'll find a new kitchen, new bathroom, and a new floor.
It's very nice, very quiet, and I don't see any roaches. I don't have a cement floor, I have tile floor. So I love it.
From Perkins Homes, Jamie Costello, Channel 2 News.
The Housing Authority of Baltimore.
Earlier this week, we showed you used drug needles atop the snow in the courtyard at Lexington Terrace. Today, the snow had melted, revealing dozens more syringes.
Here, there. I can't even count.
Needles used by junkies, a population that has a high probability of having AIDS or hepatitis. Needles on grounds where children play.
It's bad for the children because you never know when might be curious and pick it up. Most of the time when they be out playing, they be, running around, and everywhere they go is needles.
Is anybody trying to clean this up? Frustrated maintenance workers here say they do every day.
See, overnight when we come back, they're right back here just like trash. People just throw things out.
Coming out the window at night today.
At night?
At night.
So what, people just throw them out the window?
Well, they have what they call a shooting gallery. I guess they go up there, and there's so many in this. Just throw them out the window.
Hard to believe this area was raked this morning, considering what workers collected after we arrived. By the way, city workers have been using this long-handled dustpan to collect needles since completing an AIDS-related safety seminar last fall.
This is one of the things that carry on AIDS. There's so many other different germs and diseases. There's so many kids that be out here playing around on these grounds.
Today's trip to Lexington Terrace ended on a disturbing note. Despite this worker's obvious concern, he disposed of the needles by emptying them into an open trash can in an unsecured area. From West Baltimore, Joyce Jefferson, Channel 2 News.
Mayor Schmoke's been in office for more than a month now. His top priority, city schools. Today, the mayor took his cabinet to visit an education trouble spot, an elementary school where efforts to improve student achievement aren't getting passing grades. City Hall reporter Joyce Jefferson has more.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Good to see you.
City Hall came to Lexington Terrace Elementary School this morning. The mayor greeted children with a smile and a handshake. And down the hall, his entire cabinet took part in the first of a series of cabinet meetings to take place in city communities.
The mayor brought his cabinet to Lexington Terrace Elementary School today because this school represents the tough kinds of educational challenges the city faces as it tries to uplift the school system.
The problem here is that despite a long list of programs implemented to improve student skills, Their academic performance is not improving. 1986 figures show that only 10% of third graders here passed citywide proficiency tests. That means 90% failed, and figures were even worse for fourth graders. Only 6% passed.
The progress that we had hoped to see here has not occurred, and for that reason we have been looking at other kinds of sources of help to upgrade the school.
It's been very tough, and to a certain extent, it shows you that the answer is not only in the schools, it's problems outside. So that's the other reason why we wanted to have people from agencies other than just the school system to say, wait a minute, everybody has a role to play in solving these problems.
Barbara McKinney has a 9-year-old here. She's concerned about his problems in school. But like the mayor said, education is just one concern. She came today to share her fears about drugs and children with the mayor. McKinney lives across the street in a city high-rise. Her child can't play outside because the ground is littered with used needles.
The city needs to come out and take a look at what's left on the ground for our kids.
Today's visit from the mayor and his cabinet provided no instant solution for problems at Lexington Terrace, but it did make people here feel his concern is genuine.
Like, I never saw Kurt smoke before. I was excited.
It's letting me know that we're not left without, and with him being up at the top, he still can come out to the communities and look after them as he had promised.
From Lexington Terrace, Joyce Jefferson, Channel 2 News.